Theme park video games go back a long way, from classics like Theme Park to Roller Coaster Tycoon and Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, which would inspire not just one of the worst theme park games ever, but one of the worst GameCube games at all. Luckily, it was slightly redeemed in a remake. Let's take a look at Universal Studios' Theme Park Adventure.
Welcome to Universal Studios! I'm Woody Woodpecker! I'll be your guide today.
In 1990, Capcom released Adventures in the Magic Kingdom for the Nintendo Entertainment System. As your character, you could explore the Magic Kingdom, loosely based on the multiple different versions of the park around the world, collecting 6 silver keys. Mickey Mouse wanted to start the big parade, but unfortunately, Goofy had left the golden key locked in the castle. To collect these keys, player would enter different mini-games themed around Disney rides. These games included Space Mountain, where you pilot a spaceship to a distant star, Autopia, a race game where you must reach the end while dodging obstacles, Big Thunder Mountain, which required a lot of luck as you must choose the path the train takes to the end, Haunted Mansion, the goal of which is to head to the attic and defeat the ghost that resides there, as well as Pirates of the Caribbean, which is a side-scrolling game where you are tasked with saving 6 guests who have been abducted by pirates. The final key could be found by answering trivia questions throughout the park. These questions included what is Donald Duck's middle name, how much does it cost to feed the birds, and what is the name of the Disneyland riverboat, among many other movie and theme park questions. Upon completing the minigames and collecting the keys, the player would unlock Cinderella's castle and Mickey would congratulate you for starting the parade. While the game could be fun in areas offering a wide variety of different options and letting players walk around a NES version of the Disney theme parks, some of the games were clunky. More bizarrely though, over 10 years later, the game's format would be copied to even worse results. Universal Studios video games go back a long way. Some great, and some just really, really bad. With titles like the 1982 E.T. adventure game developed for the Atari, to Jaws and Back to the Future, all the way to Blues Brothers 2000. Okay, mostly bad. There will be one game though that would tie multiple Universal properties together into one package, allowing you to enter the worlds of Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Jaws, and more. The only problem was it was also pretty darn bad. This game was Universal Studios' Theme Park Adventure. On November 18th, 2001, Nintendo released a successor to the Nintendo 64 in the US. Competing with the PlayStation 2 and Microsoft Xbox, its launch was a huge success with a great controller, updated hardware, and engaging games. Within the first few months of launch, the console had games such as Pikmin, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and Luigi's Mansion, all offering quality and graphically upgraded experience. And then there was Universal Studios' Theme Park Adventure. Developed by Naya Digital Works Co. based in Sapporo, little is known about the developer. They were established in October 2000 and based in the same building as another developer, Zoom, who created games such as Mr. Mosquito on the PlayStation 1 and 2. The game's director is Mikio Uama, whose other games include Blazing Lasers in 1989, Battle Load Run, and Super Bomberman in 1993. It was published by Kemco, who have been operating since 1984. Kemco have put out games such as Top Gear, and my personal favourite, Top Gear Overdrive on the Nintendo 64, and today publish many mobile games. Kemco stated that Universal Studios Theme Park Adventure is a game where you can have a simulated experience of a fun day at Universal Studios Japan at home, letting you walk around the park, experience various events, participate in attractions in the park, with each attraction offering a different game. The performance of the GameCube is fully brought out, and the beautiful graphics and powerful sounds will impress you. The inside of the park has been faithfully reproduced, and people who have visited and who have not visited the theme park can enjoy the game. It is full of exciting attractions and fulfilling contents, leaving you satisfied. First, before we go any further, let's talk about the graphics. I spent a Sunday afternoon playing through the game recently, which is the footage you will see here. This footage is upscaled in resolution from the GameCube's 480i to 1440p, offering much sharper textures throughout. This is what it looks like native and before. For your eyes and mine, I've decided to show footage from this upscaled version throughout. The original graphics were not great. This game is basically an updated version of Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. Here you choose a character from 6 different options and enter the world of Universal Japan. It is worth noting that the game was released in 2001, the same year as Universal Studios Japan opened. Upon starting the game, you head towards the iconic Universal Globe to be greeted by guess who? Of course, it's Woody Woodpecker, your personal park guide. Universal Studios Japan is having a big stamp collecting event.
Today in the park, we're having a stamp collection contest. Every attraction features special games. If you win a game, you'll earn a stamp.
And the object of this game is to collect all of these different stamps. To get these stamps, you need to go on the Universal rides, essentially mini games. To win these silver keys, stamps, you have to complete the minigames based on Universal attractions.
This place is big, so try not to get lost. Have fun!
Some sound advice from Woody, but sadly, you will get lost because not only is the control system a nightmare, but the fixed camera system is even worse. Each area of the park has one fixed camera, with your character starting somewhere on the screen. Which way to head off camera to get to the next area never ever becomes clear. While there is a park map, which is basically useless, you never feel like you know which way you are heading. People with important information to tell you will have a marker over their head when close. The information is never that important. The guests in the park are duplicated over and over again from around 5 to 6 different variants. Park employees wear white outfits, including the rumble person, to let you know if your controller rumble was on. Many of these guests look terrible. For some reason, every section of the park has a fireman in it, and some of the sprites just look really great. When you try to enter an attraction, Woody rudely informs you that there is a line and you can't go in unless you have a special hat. These hats require points, and to get said points, you must either finish minigames, weirdly shake hands with characters around the park, Or collect garbage and put it into the bins. Lots and lots of garbage. Once you have gained enough of these points to buy a hat, you have to run all the way back outside the park to Woody Woodpecker to buy it, and then back to the attraction the hat is for. Then, and only then, will Woody let you into the 7 different opening day Universal Studios Japan minigames. These minigame attractions include
Something is coming from behind. Look! T-Rex! Shoot him down!
Jurassic Park The Ride, an on-rail shooter where your kid stands on the back of a jeep and murders hundreds and hundreds of dinosaurs who are chasing him. To do this, you repeatedly press the A button over and over for what feels like a lifetime. Not since the days of track and field has my thumb ached playing a game. You can also hold A to lock onto up to 8 dinosaurs, but it takes forever. The graphics and effects are horrible, and this minigame is too.
Let's go! What's wrong? We're going to fall out of the car! Hold on!
I really needed a break after playing this minigame. Once was definitely enough. Backdraft puts your child character into the role of a firefighter, where you have to rescue 15 of 20 trapped people from a blaze. While this one is okay, the camera angles and controls make it difficult changing direction in every single room because of the fixed camera. At the end, you better hope you have got 15, because if not, it is game over and you have to do the whole 15-minute game again. Yes, this minigame lasts 15 minutes and it is the noisiest game in the world. The Wild 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 West Stunt Show is a simple gun shooting game in which you challenge 3 other gunmen to the most targets. It is fine. Probably the best review we can give to these different minigames. Back to the Future The Ride puts you into the seat of the DeLorean to hit Biff, who has also stolen the DeLorean, multiple times to stop him.
Get in quick! There's Biff!
It is frustrating and controls horribly, but it does follow the attraction's locations. The hey, what's up, and what are you doing though, can get slightly annoying.
Are you okay? What are you doing? Yeah!
E.T. Adventure takes you on a bike ride to the finish to help E.T. It is again fine, but handles horribly and you spend most of the time falling off the bike. Jaws is the only aspect of the game without a fixed camera. The player on the ship has to throw items at Jaws to stop him destroying it. While you are slow and have terrible aim, it turns into a look at the minimap and throw the barrel at the red dot before he attacks experience. And finally, that brings us to Waterworld. Now this one was just bizarre and really confusing. It's not even a game, it just lets you see a 3D replication of the seaplane landing scene from the park show, but not just once, from 5 different directions. No stamps for this one, but you do get points, so it is an easy way to just watch over and over to buy your hats. The first time I did this, I thought it was loading into a game, but nope, that was it. The other final stamp includes collecting tiny letters spelling out Universal Studios from throughout the park, and the only real challenge of the whole game. The part I spent the longest on though, by far, was the anime celebration.
Hi!
A multiple choice quiz. To pass and get your stamp, you need to get 12 questions correct. But if you get 3 wrong, it is game over. If I ever hear the words, "you need to watch more movies" again, it will definitely be in my nightmares.
You need to watch more movies. You need to watch more movies. You need to watch more movies.
Questions include, what was the name of the dragon in Dragonheart? What did Adcox call the hero in the opening scene of Backdraft? Who chased the Bone Collector? What is the name of Patch's romantic interest in Patch Adams? And many, many more obscure questions. This is the hardest part of the game, with no help or guidance, and considering this took us 15 tries, there were no repeating questions.
You need to watch more movies.
After you complete 5 minigames, the park would change to nighttime and doesn't go back. Once you collected all of the stamps, you turn them into Woody, who would then start a fireworks display and run the end credits.
What's wrong? One more time.
That was the game. The whole experience can be completed in less than 5 hours, and this was a full price game. While it was kind of fun to walk around a virtual Universal Studios theme park, the worse than Nintendo 64 graphics, controls and minigames all came together to create one of the worst GameCube games of all time. As a redone Universal version of the NES Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, it was even less fun and basically resorted into a park cleaning simulator with a few minigames. What it did have going for it though, was the sound. The game uses the official Universal theme songs from the movies. Interestingly though, it sold quite well, and helped promote the newest Universal park. So well in fact, that its story doesn't end here. The game would get a remake, this time on a different console. Welcome to Universal Studios Japan was released in Japan only on the PlayStation 2 in September 2003. It featured a complete remake of the game with new graphics, mini-games, and controls. It was now fully 3D, and players could explore the updated park which was much more graphically pleasing than the original version and featured a much more fleshed out park. It even had a map that worked, and a much larger play area. Gone was the trash picking up of the past, and there were now dozens of collectible items and clothing to buy with points. Hats were just for looks. Also gone was Woody Woodpecker, except for in the replaced Anime Celebration, which was now a memory game. As for walking, and yes, I do mean walking, as you cannot move fast around the park, it really was quite authentic to the opening day Universal Studios Japan. A huge upgrade from the game released 2 years earlier. Even though I could not understand any of what was happening, I enjoyed my time walking through this version of the park. Also completely redone was the mini-games, each now with multiple stages. Back to the Future had you chasing Biff while avoiding obstacles, Backdraft has you putting out fires, which was one of the weaker remakes. The Wild 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 West stunt show now featured shooting training through 9 different stages. E.T. Adventure was a 3D bicycle game where you avoided obstacles and collected coins while being able to fly through multiple different stages. While each of these were still not amazing, they were better than the previous versions. Sadly, I was unable to play the Jurassic Park and Jaws games, but as I approached Waterworld, I wondered what would this version offer? Would I be able to view the scene from the show from even more angles? Well, no. This time, it offered an actual game that was actually quite fun. Driving your jet ski and avoiding the different obstacles were a huge improvement. The only downside of this version of the game was that it no longer featured the official Universal Studios scores. I wish this had been the version the US had received, as it would certainly be a fun little game to pick up and explore Universal Japan. Since I was unable to figure out the story and the goals with the Japanese, I could not fully enjoy the game, but what I did get to experience was a lot better than the game I could actually understand. It is interesting how once a decade a theme park open world game mixed with minigames seems to come out. First was Adventures in the Magic Kingdom in 1990, then in 2001 Universal Studios Theme Park Adventure, and another 10 years later would be Disneyland Adventures with a Connect. That one though is for another time. I hope this tradition continues and in just a few years we will head to another theme park to play disappointing minigames. Just no more Woody and Winnie Woodpecker telling me to watch more movies ever again, please.
Bye!
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Expedition Virtual Theme Park. What theme park video game would you like to see covered next? Let me know in the comments below. Again, a special thank you to this video's sponsor, Surfshark. Head to the link in the description to get your voucher and try it out. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates on upcoming episodes, and a special thank you to our Patreons for supporting the channel. We will see you next time.